Yes, this is your host, William Robinson. We're coming at y'all live today with Talk, Love, and Communication. We believe that all problems, situations, circumstances can be resolved through the proper channels of love and communication. Today we have a special guest, Miss Lula Mae Keaton, 106 years old. What a blessing, what a blessing. We're going to be blessed with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding today. I want to give my special guest a special round of applause. Joining us today. Okay, Miss Lula Mae, how you doing today, darling?
I'm doing fine.
You doing okay? That's good, man. But you wanna introduce yourself to my audience and tell us a little bit about yourself? Where you was born and raised at?
Monticello, Florida.
Monticello, Florida. And what year you was born, ma'am?
1917.
1917. And what was it like growing up as a child? What was your most fondest childhood memory?
Oh, Lord, I forgot. It's been so long.
It's been so long, huh?
Yeah.
So, well, when you was as far as back as you can remember, what was it like growing up?
Well, it was all right, but, you know, some days it's rough.
Yes, ma'am.
Some days are pretty good, you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am. You know, my grandmother was 91 years old, just passed away about 2 months ago. And she used to talk to me about the crop sharing. Can you explain a little bit of that to us, ma'am?
I used to work on the farm.
Yes, ma'am.
Pick cotton, watermelon, watermelon.
Yeah, they had you out in the watermelon field too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? I did a little watermelon field. I went out in the watermelon field myself.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I did all that.
All that good stuff. I tell you what, man, when you think about family, what's the first thing come to mind? When you think about family.
Family?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I always think about my mom and dad.
What's your mom and dad name, ma'am?
Shella Keaton.
Shella Keaton. Shella Keaton. That's right. Okay, and your father?
Dice Keaton.
Dice?
Dice Keaton.
Yes. And what you remember most about Mama? When you think about Mama, what you remember most about her?
Oh, Lord. So much I can't even think about it.
Yeah. Out of all your years, if you had to say, what is your favorite holiday?
Holiday?
Yes, ma'am.
Christmas.
Christmas? And why is that?
No. Cause
you got all the presents? Oh,
yeah. I ain't got all of them, but I got some of it.
That's right. And out of all the Christmases you can remember, what was the most special gift you ever received?
Clothes.
Some clothes? Or you like to get fancied up?
Yeah, I like that.
Go on and tell my audience one more time how old you are.
How old I am?
Yes, ma'am.
1 year old.
And that's 1 plus 105, huh?
Yeah.
What a blessing. That's right, man. That's right. Ma'am, is it something that was common in your day that you hardly see nowadays? You know, as far as the way the livelihoods of people. What's the main difference in the times when you was growing up as a teenager and a young lady compared to the days of today?
Oh, there's a lot of difference. So, children come up now and that we come up with.
And what's the main difference?
Oh, there's a lot of difference now.
For example?
He's a lot of different. Because when we coming up, we couldn't do like you children do now.
Like what?
Like going out and ask you nothing. When you go out, you have to ask your mama, can I go out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more accountability.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree with that, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Even from my days, from being a young man to today, you know, I can see a difference. And I can imagine that you saw a difference.
Oh, yeah. Okay, how old you were, you were 18 and 19 years old, you still had the age.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, do you remember? Go ahead, ma'am.
But you go out, you got a certain time you got to be in.
That's right. And what happened if you missed that curfew?
You often know what happened. Yes, sir.
Yeah. In my days, it was the street lights. When street lights come on, you better get in that house.
I know that, right?
That's right. She had to call you but one time.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, in 1968, Martin Luther King was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that time? Do you remember what she was doing during that time?
Remember what I was doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was like I'm doing now, you know what I mean? And now I'm thinking. Mm-hmm.
How was the atmosphere, you know, during those days, you know, right after, just before he was assassinated, like during his time, during the marching, during his protesting, up until the time he was assassinated? Can you remember some of those times and how the state of the world was at the time, ma'am?
Yeah. Well, I forgot now. I was one thing.
You probably was working. I think I heard you.
Huh?
I think I heard you mention that y'all was out in the field when y'all heard about it.
In the field?
Yeah, working when y'all heard about it.
Working?
And Martin Luther King got assassinated. I can remember I was in school in my history class. And we came over.
I forgot. You have been so long now.
Well, it's okay. Well, I mean, it's so many historical, you know, it's so many presidents. You know, it's like 25 presidents been in office, you know, from the time of your birth, you know. And it's just such a blessing, and I'm honored to be able to interview you with and gain some of the wisdom that you have, ma'am. I mean, would you like to share how many kids you have?
I got 5, I think.
We got 4 now, 1 to 6.
Yeah.
You got 5. You had 5 kids and 1 deceased.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, and that's great. So you had how many girls and how many boys?
I took 2 girls and 3 boys.
2 girls and 3 boys.
2 boys, 3 girls.
2 boys.
2 boys and 3 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, ma'am, if you had to describe love in one word, what word would it be?
You understand?
If you had to describe, if you had to define love
Love.
in one word, what would it be?
Diane.
Diane?
Mm-hmm.
And who is Diane? You don't share with the audience who Diane is?
Huh?
And who is Diane?
Who is Diane?
Yes, ma'am.
That's you over there.
And who is she to you?
That's my daughter.
That's your daughter?
Yeah.
That's your oldest daughter or your youngest daughter?
That's my young one.
That's your youngest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about love, you think about Diane.
Mm-hmm.
What a blessing to have for your mother to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine Miss Diane is a very lovely lady.
Mm-hmm.
Did you teach? I think I know Miss Diane. Did you teach her how to bake cakes?
I did the best I could.
Well, you did a good job. You did a good job. But I think she don't forgot how to do it, but she don't make them now most of the time. I think she don't lost her touch. So, ma'am, tell me what it was like when you was going to school. Like, what's the highest grade did you complete?
In the third.
In the third?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your fondest memory? What you remember most about school?
Oh, Lord, I've been so long. I forgot now more than
Been a long time ago. Huh?
yeah.
You had a pretty fancy birthday last year, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
You had a lot of fun, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What kind of memories you remember from that? What stands out to you?
Oh, it came out a lot of things, you know. I was glad to see his birthday.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm a kid with nice to me.
All the kids were nice to you on your birthday, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Did Miss Diane make you a cake?
No, she didn't really make cake.
She ain't let Publix make it for you. She ain't let Publix make it, did she? Well, I tell you what, you can't go wrong with that buttercream icing. I tell you that, you can't go wrong. So, ma'am, as I look at you today, you're a very beautiful woman. 106 years old, born in 1917. What's the key to this beauty you have? I mean, what's the key? It got to be something.
No. Oh. Mm-hmm. One thing I like about it, God is my shepherd, and I still like him.
That's right, ma'am. That's the key, and that is the secret. It's not a secret. It's right there in the book.
Uh-huh.
So you are a believer in Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And when you think about Jesus, you know, I'm quite sure there have been some tough times in your life that he's carried you through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's delivered you from a lot, you know. As I look at you today, like I say, you know, you're a very beautiful woman. You know, what's the key to long life? I mean, to make it. If you had some advice to the world on things that you see nowadays that, you know, I noticed back in your days, y'all, it was a lot of remedies. You know, y'all didn't take a lot of the medicine. Y'all went out and got the plants and the herbs and the, you know.
I can't remember all that now.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
You know about that aloe plant, don't you?
Aloe plant.
The aloe plant. What?
Aloe, like the one you got back in the backyard. The aloe plant you put on your cuts.
I forgot all that.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about the world today? When you think about the world today, when you go out and you see things, you know, the way the buildings are compared to how the buildings were in your day, the cars, you know, my grandma often talked to me about how they would get on the back of the carriage, the horses, and you would ride the horses in the back on the wagon to town. You remember those days?
No, I can't remember all that.
No?
No, I can't remember all that now. Mm-mm.
You know,
I remember the horses.
you remember the horses?
Yeah. But we riding, but I ain't never riding the horses.
You never rode the horses?
Mm-mm.
Cars y'all used to have them.
What?
On the car.
What?
The cars y'all used to have to drive.
Well, them old 2 miles?
Yeah.
I don't know 2 mile cars. Been so long now, I forgot everything. Just about.
It's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about what was your first pet?
Pet.
Yes, ma'am.
The first animal.
Animal. Oh.
Chloe.
She looked down at Chloe.
I know.
Your dog named Jip, mama.
A dog. Dog. My pet dog.
Yes, ma'am.
Jip. He had a dog named Jip.
Zip. I forgot all that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
if you had something, a message that you wanted to share to the world, what message would that be?
I have what now?
A message, something that you wanted to tell the world, something that you wanted the world to know. What would you share with them? If you had to share something with everyone, what would you share with them?
Hmm?
What do you think the greatest gift someone could give another person?
Feel like you always tell us, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Oh, I'm glad to be treated like I want to be treated, you know what I mean? If I treat you now, you treat me now.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I agree, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Okay, as you go through life today and you think about the culture, but when you look out into the world today, what is the major difference than nowadays and when you grew up back in Georgia?
Oh, here's about a difference. It's about a difference because that we were coming up, we can't do that, come be here and do it now. Mm-hmm. We couldn't do that. When night comes, you better be in the house before the sun go down.
That's right. What about that talking back when
My mama and daddy ain't heard that.
Ain't no talking back?
No. Mm-mm.
So you ain't have no opinion?
We ain't heard none of that.
No.
You better keep your mouth closed.
That's right.
And come in.
That's right.
Like you supposed to come in.
That's right.
They ain't heard none of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
So when you think about love, you think about Miss Diane.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in what ways do she display this kind of love to you on a daily basis?
Say it again.
In what ways, when I asked you to describe love, you said Diane, which is your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
In what ways do she display this love to you?
Oh, like she do in the say, you know, for me. Yeah?
Taking care of you.
Yeah, taking care of me.
Do you believe love is an act? If I say to you, I love you, what's the difference if I say I love you and I say I'm in love with you? What's the difference?
There's no difference to me.
There's no difference than loving someone and being in love?
Nah.
So family, when you think of family, what do you think of? You say your mom and your dad and the relationship. What do you think the key ingredient in a successful relationship, whether that be husband and wife, mother or daughter, son or father? What's the key ingredient to a successful relationship?
Oh, my daughter.
Diane?
Uh-huh.
That's the key ingredient, huh? She probably putting that in them cakes too, huh? That's right.
Mm.
You know, back in your days, when the kids grew up, was it more of a community effort? You know, the neighbors looked out for the neighbors and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you what, ma'am, it was very nice having this conversation with you. I appreciate you, ma'am. I love you very much. Like I say, you are a very beautiful woman. If I wasn't married, I'd be over there checking you out, Miss Lula Mae.
Yeah.
gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for joining us today, sharing this wisdom and knowledge with our special guest, Miss Lula Mae Keaton. Once again, she's 106 years old, was born in 1917. That's a lot of wisdom, a lot of understanding. You only get one life to live, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a whole lot easier with love and communication.